little shaman. And the Firelord has answered. You and your kind thought that the fires of doom had been quenched. But I will show you the truth.
Greetings and salutations, everyone. Spoilers ahead, just gonna throw that one right out there immediately. Well, it seems that the Firelord title just can't seem to catch a break because Smolderon, the new Firelord appointed by the Earthen Ring back during the Legion's third invasion, has decided to go right ahead and join up with Ferak, and his quest to make Yggdrasil into a burning world tree. I do ultimately think he's not under some kind of spell or control, but rather he's on Ferak's side willingly, as his own views on the Elemental's place in this world would very much stand against the Titans that had once imprisoned them. Some buildup would have been nice, but that's where we're at currently. The guy goes MIA right when a cult shows up and trying to revive his old boss, and the next time we see him, bam, he's against us too. I guess you just can't trust anybody who's a Firelord these days.
That's rough, buddy.
In fact, I'm surprised we've not seen more of the other Elemental Lords stand with the Incarnates. But maybe they just know better after seeing Alakir and Ragnaros oppose the people of Azeroth. Unlike good old Smolderon here, who's a glutton for punishment, it seems. I do doubt that the other Elemental Lords would join under Erdokron's banner unless they were unaware of his dealings with the Void. It would make sense otherwise to them no longer wishing to be chained by the Titans, but again, I don't think they'd work with the Incarnates. Probably. Back on point though, so should Smolderon seemingly fall in the conjointment of the Emerald Dream and the Firelands, and then later to be gobbled up by Ferak too, does that mean that this is it for Smolderon? I think it does, personally. Seems quite extra to have him get eaten by his new boss, while also dying in what is basically a pocket of the Firelands in the Emerald Dream. Way to play yourself, my guy. Way to go. So this once again leaves the role of a Firelord empty. Maybe Ferak could be reborn in the Firelands after his demise and could become this new Firelord. He does seem to have Ragnaros's...
Huh, what is that on my head? Would you call it a crown? 16, would you call this a crown?
I hate you.
We'll call it a crown.
Anyways, I've got the sneaking suspicion that such a fate isn't going to be his. I don't think Ferak is going to be reborn in the Firelands. I don't even know if the Incarnates return to the Emerald Plane when they die, but given the reaction to Razgast's death, I don't think that's the case either. So I think this'll be it for Ferak too. Unless he's imprisoned or something. I do like the Incarnates, but not all of them are going to make it, sadly. So Smolderon is Smolderoff, and Ferak is Feride. Who exactly does that leave? Well, that's where my brain started to think. There remains the unresolved and still present cult of Ragnaros, who back during the events of the Fourth War attempted to revive Ragnaros. Back then, I speculated that Smolderon was missing in action because he was captured by them. This could still prove to hold some truth, but I doubt it. And interestingly enough, the Druids of the Flame are back, but not under oath to Smolderon, but instead under Ferak, who gave them the promise of immortality that they lost after the Third War, when Archimonde bid it. So maybe with our attention turned away on Ferak and the cult of Ragnaros in some shape or form we'll revive Ragnaros, or at least go for another try. And I'll state my thoughts on here and now. Do I want Ragnaros back? Sure, I guess. He's the most iconic of the Elemental Lords and I think he's pretty neat. The idea of his return was already kind of placed in my head, so what the hell, why not? I will say that I'm mostly indifferent if he does or does not come back, but the idea is there regardless. Do I want him back though to fight him though? Nah, we've already fought the guy twice, and you know what they say, 3 times is the charm. With all the talk of returning to things of old or familiar, what's more familiar than having Ragnaros back? Except with the caveat of us not fighting him. I think that's important to highlight here. With Smolderon, this would in fact be our 3rd time besting a Firelord. 4 times if you want to count that time that we fought Ragnaros in Mount Hyjal in the final questline. I think you kinda run your course with wanting to fight and kill Firelords after at least the 3rd time. I think it would be the smart thing to change things up and have Ragnaros instead become an ally, begrudgingly of course. Dude has tasted what forever death is like, and that may make him more open to us. Doesn't need to be our best buddy though. In addendum, he could no longer be under the influence of the old gods and Deathwing, and once upon a time he did join with his fellow elemental lords to fight off both the Black Empire and the Titan Keepers, so it's not exactly his first rodeo on defending Azeroth from those who would seek to use it. I don't exactly envision Ragnaros to be kind or thrilled about it, but the alternative of being servitude to the Void Lords or the Old Gods, or death, probably makes the guy change his tune just a little bit. I do think that there is an issue in both Warcraft and other medias where characters just can't seem to stay dead, but if you can make things interesting or change things up, I'm mostly okay with it. Just don't overdo it, please. Ugh. In another alternative, perhaps this emptiness for a Firelord leads to an elemental calamity, and that is the reason for why Thrall must step up as World Shaman once more to correct this in some shape or form. Could explain why he's the face of Warcraft at BlizzCon. Maybe. Just maybe. But those are my overall thoughts on this sort of idea. So what do you all think? Do you think Ragnaros is coming back for round 3? Or would you prefer they do something else entirely from him? Do you think they'll change things up with him, or do you perceive something more boring to happen with him, like us fighting him and him dying again? Let me know down below. Go ahead and leave a comment, like, subscribe, and all that jazz. Follow us on the Discord, we talk about all sorts of stuff and things. We'd love to have you. And if you like me enough, you can support me on my Patreon, like these amazing folks here. Helps to make these kinds of videos happen. But until next time, my friends, see ya!